Hello and welcome to episode 55 of the franchise. And today, I'm your host, Daniel Ehrenberg.
I'm your host, Henry Papali. Welcome.
Yeah, and today we're covering the Jaws sequels, and they will compete for which is the worst movie ever made.
I'm pretty excited about this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got Jaws 3D as well as Jaws the Revenge. And, they're not classics.
No, and it really surprised me that it is a contest. It's a real contest.
I don't think it is.
Well, I made up my mind too, pretty definitively. So,
do you want to tease that, or do you want to say it now?
We could say it now if you want. Just get it out of the way.
Henry, I hadn't seen these movies since I was but a wee lad.
Yes.
And I didn't really remember them that well. All I remembered was Michael Caine's in one of them, and one of them takes place at SeaWorld. That's what I remembered.
That's sort of my recollection. I remembered more from Jaws 4. I've definitely seen it more. Jaws 3, like you, I pretty much remembered that it was at SeaWorld. But, I have a clear cut.
Now,
there's a winner and a loser here.
Jaws fans and movie fans worldwide for many years have argued which is the worst movie, which is the nadir of the Jaws franchise, right. Jaws 3D or Jaws the Revenge. And I'm here with the answer.
Me too.
All right?
You want to say it on the count of three?
Which is better or which is worse?
Which is worse.
Okay, which is worse?
We're going to say
Jaws. And I think this movie is worse by a lot.
So do I.
Okay.
So we're going to say Jaws 3 or 4 at the count of three.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
Jaws 3! Yeah! Jaws 3D is one of the most unwatchable movies I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it's one of the most unwatchable things that we've ever had to do on this show, I think.
Yeah, and we've watched some bad movies.
Yeah, man, and I think it's the worst looking movie since maybe one of the Friday the 13th. I don't know.
Home Alone 4.
Well, that's a good point. Forgot about that. Yeah.
Never forget Home Alone 4. Home Alone 4 should haunt you in the middle of the night.
I still get compliments on that episode, though.
Do you?
Mystifying to me, yeah.
Yeah.
It was a miserable experience. Yeah,
yeah it was.
It really was.
Fuck you. I had to watch the fifth one.
Yeah, you didn't have to. You elected to do that.
Yeah, because I'm a completist, and that's what this podcast is for.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Right. Yeah. I have an idea. Well, go ahead. We'll get into 3. Well, I'll tell you the things about 3 when we get into 3. But we've addressed the elephant in the room. So
how bad these movies are?
Yeah, and which one we think is worse?
Yeah. Jaws 3D. So they were trying to figure out what to do with the third Jaws movie, right?
Yeah.
At one point, they were going to make it a spoof of Jaws. Did you hear about this?
No, I didn't.
It would have been like if Scary Movie was like Scream 3.
Okay. Probably would have been a better idea.
No, it's a horrible idea. I mean...
Well...
yeah, I guess compared to what they came up with.
That's what I mean, yeah.
But Jesus Christ. It was going to be... Joe Dante was going to direct it.
Oh.
And they hired some of the National Lampoon guys to write a script, including John Hughes.
Really?
Yeah, and that was going to be Jaws 3. But instead, we get Jaws 3D, directed by Joe Alves.
Pretty sure that's not how you say his name, but
yeah,
I love
it is. It's his only directing credit.
Yeah, get to that.
Well, let's talk about it.
Okay.
This is who they decide to hire for Jaws 3. He was not even the cinematographer on the first two Jaws movies.
Yeah,
he
yeah.
was the production designer.
You tied in beautifully to some of my notes here, so I'm just going to say them.
Okay.
I think one of the main problems with this movie is that, and I did a little research, as you like to say, the director is not a director. The director of photography is not a director of photography, and the composer is not a composer.
Oh, well...
That's an issue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Starting with Joe Alves, you don't hire a production designer to direct your big franchise movie, especially if it's like a 3D movie and like there's like technical shit to be done. Steven Spielberg, one of the greatest directors ever, a fucking technician and a half, he had trouble making the first Jaws movie.
Right.
So
right.
what? How's Joe Alves gonna do?
He's an art designer. It's one of his credits. So, they figured, well, this guy knows how to shoot 3D because it comes at you.
But he doesn't. What does the production designer do? Joe Alves, he's the guy that had the bright idea to put a chalkboard in the meeting scene? Like, in Jaws, like... Come on, he did
That's
Jaws.
So funny because like the production design on a movie is like vitally important, but
no,
this guy...
it is, but it's not director material. You know,
right.
you don't. I mean, what's next? Like Michael Bay says, Transformers 5 is his last movie. Well, we've got this guy who was the gaffer on the first 3. Let him direct it.
We're going to have Colleen Atwood, the costume designer. She's going to do the next Scorsese film.
Why would it be a Scorsese film?
Because she works a lot with them.
Yeah, but she's directing it. It wouldn't be a Scorsese movie.
I mean,
I'm
she
poking holes in your joke.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Water came through.
Yeah. Hey, so then let's move on to the DP of Jaws 3.
Sure, let's do it.
Listen, I'm
You
a
should
fan.
like this
I'm a
guy.
fan. I'm a fan of this guy. All right.
I wrote him down.
James A. Contner,
Uh-huh.
a fine TV director, directed a lot of episodes of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. All right.
And
what?
Firefly, Angel.
Oh yeah. Well, he's a Joss Whedon guy.
Yeah. Miami Vice.
The TV show Miami Vice.
Yeah.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's not a full-time even director of photography. It's like everyone involved is like it's like their second. It's like their hobby.
What has he worked on, director of photography wise?
Well, he's not. He's a producer. He's a director. He's a director of photography. So when I looked up his credits, it was like this complete gigantic amalgamation of a conflation of all these different things. So
all right, here is DP credits. You ready?
Yeah.
He was the DP on the Whitney Houston video, "The Greatest Love of All."
Give them a hope for all that is better than... I don't think those are the words, but...
I think you were singing "The Children Are Our Future."
You are absolutely right. That is exactly what I was singing. You are right.
Yeah.
How did I mess that up?
I don't know. Okay, so he was also the DP on the great George Romero film Monkey Shines, An Experiment in Fear.
I remember that. God, okay.
And also The Flamingo Kid and Cruisin'.
Oh, yeah, all right.
And then he became a director. He just directed a ton of TV for years and years. By the way, superhero count, he directed an episode of the original Flash called Twin Streaks. How about that?
Doesn't count, but I'm proud of you.
Yeah. But that's funny. It was probably a timely reference back then, a Twin Peaks reference.
Oh, sure. Trying to kite on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love this composer, too. Did you look this guy up?
Who's this guy?
So his name's Alan Parker, so immediately I'm thinking, Oh, the director, Alan Parker.
Yeah, the guy that made Mississippi Burning. Yeah.
No, he's a guitarist, a session guitarist, who sat in with Donovan and David Bowie and some very famous guys, so he's very prestigious. Not a film composer. Scored Gilbert Grape, which I barely remember the movie, let alone the score.
I think that's got some acoustic guitar licks on that
Well,
soundtrack.
there you go.
Yeah.
And this score is something else, man. How far we have fallen.
Yeah, it's real bad. It's real bad. All right. Jaws 3D, written by Carl Gottlieb. He's back again. This Gottlieb. Listen,
God.
here's one thing we can say for sure after this movie.
Yeah.
The reason the original Jaws was so great wasn't the screenplay.
Yeah.
This guy did not catch lightning in a bottle twice.
Certainly did not. Now,
All right.
Richard
Matheson also with a screenwriting credit. He's a classic sci-fi novelist. So again, we're hiring outside the world of film.
Right.
He probably best known for writing the original I Am Legend story, which has been turned into a lot of bad movies. I Am Legend is like Three Musketeers and Robin Hood, in that we insist on continuing to make movies based on it, and they're never good.
He did write my favorite sequence in the 1983 same year movie, The Twilight Zone. He wrote the John Lithgow airplane sequence.
Oh, that's pretty good. He also wrote Duel.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, so some pedigree.
I've got nothing against Richard Matheson. He's
Yeah.
just, I don't know, this movie's garbage. He hates
Right.
this movie too, though, so maybe it's a case of he wrote it draft, not a lot of his shit was used, but he's still credited.
Oh, okay.
Probably. So, Jaws 3D, tagline, "The third dimension is terror." One of the great taglines of all time.
That's really good.
Released July 22nd, 1983. A budget of $18 million. Box office of $88 million. It's a hit.
Ugh,
It's a minor hit,
it's still a hit.
but it's a hit. All right.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
Came in at number 15 in the box office, just ahead of Scarface and Blue Thunder.
Roy Scheider.
Yeah. Roy Scheider reportedly signed on for Blue Thunder so that he couldn't be offered Jaws 3.
I read that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Came in just below Never Say Never Again, The Big Chill, and Superman 3. So, 1983 was the year of the third movie in franchises that were barely movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. For full coverage on Superman 3, check out our episode.
But can we agree that Superman 3 it's better than Jaws 3D?
It is.
Yeah.
And that's pretty bad.
I know,
Yeah.
because Superman 3 is god-awful.
It is. It
Yeah.
is. That was, yeah.
Are you kidding me? Watching Jaws 3D, I was crying out for some Richard Pryor.
Yeah, man. If you'd have shown up here, that would have been fine. Yeah.
You want to do our top 10 best movies of 1983?
Sure.
All right. You got that list in front of you?
I got it.
All right, what's your number one?
Risky Business.
Risky Business, number one.
Yep.
It's not on my list.
Well, I told you it's a weird year.
Yeah.
What's your number one?
I have Videodrome.
Oh, that should be on my list. I don't know why that's not.
Yeah.
That's okay. I'm going to substitute it right now. I know what for, so that's okay.
Don't substitute. Well, these are our original lists.
Okay, all right.
All right.
Number 2, Return of the Jedi.
I have Fanny and Alexander.
Never saw it.
Okay.
You're not tour. Number 3, Vacation.
I have Zelig.
Okay.
Yeah.
Number 4, Trading Places.
I have Vacation.
Number 5, Zelig.
I have Return of the Jedi.
Number 6, The King of Comedy.
I have Valley Girl.
Never saw it.
Okay.
Number 7, Scarface.
I hate Scarface. That's nowhere near my list.
I'm not really a fan either, so this was obviously a year I struggled with.
Right. Mine is The King of Comedy, number 7.
My number
8.
What are we on?
8.
8, King of Comedy.
You said King of Comedy for number 6.
Oh yeah, okay. I thought I did. I got
Stop
confused.
trying to substitute.
Yeah, no. I have some crossouts which were done at the time, so it's a hard list to read.
All right.
Okay, so we're at number
8.
Koyaanisqatsi.
I have Trading Places.
All right. Number 9, A Christmas Story.
Oh, I have Koyaanisqatsi.
All right. And number 10, The Man with Two Brains.
That's my number 10.
That's funny.
All right. Jaws 3D.
Number 11.
Good heavens. This movie. So, it's about a bunch of yucksters working in a SeaWorld. And SeaWorld's just all over this movie. And the whole time, I'm just thinking about that movie, Blackfish.
Oh my God! I wrote that down right away. I didn't even know if you'd seen that.
I've never seen it.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Because I knew it would make me too sad.
It's very upsetting, but I wrote a note with an asterisk saying, watch Blackfish instead of this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Blackfish is fantastic, and that's all you will think about. But, yeah, it's awful, this movie.
Yeah, I mean, man, those birds really chirping over there. All right.
I'm sorry, they're very happy today. I'm in the middle of a Zippity-Doo-Dah cartoon.
You really are. It's fucking Song of the South over there. And you're in New Jersey, so it's just as racist.
Yeah.
So
the South of Jersey, yeah, it is sort of past the Mason-Dixon line.
So there's basically 4 people in this movie. They're all working at SeaWorld. Yeah. One of them is the elder Brody son. Now, the Brody sons age about 30 years between all of the Jaws movies. Come Jaws the Revenge, they are played by, Max von Sydow. I don't know.
They're played by Guy Pearce in old age makeup.
Oh, God, they would. Jaws 3, yeah, so the elder Brody, and there's a lady who's really bad. His, love interest, she's so bad. But I looked up the actress, because I honestly thought that her performance was so bad that she might be a dolphin trainer that they just put in this movie.
You're speaking of Bess Armstrong.
Yeah, but I looked up Bess Armstrong, and she's a good actress. I've seen her in other stuff.
Yeah, she's got a filmography.
Yeah, she, of course, was the mom in My So-Called Life.
Okay.
That's what I know her best from.
I don't know her from anything.
But, she's horrible in this movie.
Yeah, she's
But
bad.
no one comes out of this movie unscathed. I usually like Dennis Quaid fine. He's bland, but he's a good actor. And,
I agree.
He's real bad in this movie.
Well, he was probably doing a lot of coke. That was
probably. Yeah.
That was the period of his life when he was, so.
Yeah.
That's fine. I don't blame him for doing it on this one.
Yeah.
Coke 3D.
A lot of people got mad at Meg Ryan for leaving Dennis Quaid for Russell Crowe, but wouldn't you?
Dennis Quaid's probably a handful.
No, he's probably a fucking nothing. Dennis Quaid's probably like, let's stay in and have missionary sex tonight. Russell Crowe's like, let's get into a fight and then I'll fuck ya.
Yeah, that's well articulated. Yeah.
Thank you.
Wow.
You've also got the younger Brody visiting, and he very quickly meets up with a hotsy-totsy young lady named Leah Thompson. Hey, it's a pre-Back to the Future Leah Thompson. And you know what? She's the only one coming out of this movie unscathed for me.
She's my MVP.
She is delightful.
Well, I have a shared MVP, but she's one of them. Yeah.
Okay. So movie starts, opening credits. There's like a fish head. It's coming right at you. And then there's a bunch of water skiers.
Oh.
There's so much like it's just like a day in the life of SeaWorld in this movie. So we get to see these water skiers, and then all of a sudden they form a water skiing pyramid, which I guess is impressive, but it's why am I watching it in Jaws 3? Because, like, I guess it'd be cool if, like, a shark jumped out of the water and just started chowing down on these fuckers.
Sure,
but
yeah.
we're just seeing this go off like nothing's wrong.
It would have been cool to see a shark in this movie chow down on anyone.
Yeah.
But you don't get a lot of the shark.
It's PG, this movie, which is a real problem.
Yeah, you're not kidding. There's some violent stuff in here.
Yeah. We also we see dolphins. These dolphins. What are their names? Like Cassie and Casey or something?
I don't know. Cindy and
oh, it is Cindy and something.
Sandy.
Yeah.
Cindy.
So they're just doing tricks and yapping the whole movie, and
they're into it.
They're having fun in this movie. Did you know that the Golden Raspberries in 1983 nominated them as like worst new stars?
Yeah, that's not very nice.
I liked it.
Well, I mean, the Golden Raspberries are more credible than AFI. I'm surprised AFI didn't pick up on that.
Sure. I liked. There's one scene where Dennis Quaid is chatting with Bess. What's her name? Jo Beth Williams? No, she's from Poltergeist.
Wrong Spielberg actress.
Yeah.
Bess Armstrong.
Bess Armstrong.
She's the daughter of Neil Armstrong.
Is that true?
No.
Oh man, I believed it.
No.
I believed it. Maybe because I just watched Hidden Figures this week.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Hidden
Figures.
Not a fan?
Oh. Yo.
I told you what I thought of that.
That movie. The best part was like 10 minutes in when they're following this white police officer in their car, and Janelle Monáe's like, I love this. We're 3 strong black women following a white police officer in 1961.
She and says that verbatim.
Yeah. I'm like, you wouldn't say the year. Jesus.
Yeah, that movie was sort of a lost opportunity to tell an amazing story.
Listen, and it is an amazing story, and there's 3 great performances at the center of it.
Yeah.
I really loved Taraji Henson. If nothing else, it's worth watching to see Taraji Henson just acting circles around Kevin Costner.
Hey, at least he didn't have an accent in this one, did he?
Yes, he did.
I didn't catch that.
He was doing a southern accent. I'm southern now.
Oh,
Listen to me, I'm southern.
I didn't catch that, but
yeah. How about the part where Kevin Costner like took a crowbar and ripped down like the colored bathroom sign?
Oh,
Jesus Christ!
Yeah, that didn't happen. You know, it's just.
And they had like the black women on one side of him and the white people on the other side watching this happen.
Very
He's bridging the racial divide.
Very poorly directed.
All right. Hidden Figures. Anyway, so there's a scene where Dennis Quaid is yapping with Bess Armstrong, and they're feeding the dolphins. The dolphins have their heads sticking out of the water. They're feeding them. But Dennis Quaid is concentrating so hard on the dialogue he just memorized right before filming the scene that he keeps like tossing fish like at their mouths, but he misses every time.
I didn't notice that.
It's amazing.
Huh.
Oh, so they all go to the bar to grab some sweet brew. It's at the SeaWorld bar, of course.
Yeah.
And first,
by the way, looked like a nice bar.
I guess it looked like it should have had like peanuts all over the floor. The young Brody beats Leah Thompson in that game Standoff, which I have played.
Oh, I've never played that.
Yeah, it's about gravity, and it's pretty bad.
I know what it is, yeah.
Then there's a weird moment, one of the weirdest moments in this movie, Henry. Leah Thompson asks for a beer from the youngest Brody son. And she says, "Beer, you owe me a cup." Who calls beer glasses cups?
Oh, boy.
No one asks for a cup of beer. That was bizarre.
May I have a cup of Guinness?
Yeah.
Please.
It was odd. Then, what else? I mean, there's one scene where they have this, like, underwater vehicle in this movie.
Yeah, a submersible.
Yeah, and every so often we're going underwater in this thing to check shit out. And it reminded me sort of like the Life Aquatic.
It looked about as good as that, yeah.
Yeah, but the Life Aquatic's not, like, you know...
That's right.
It's a choice.
Exactly.
Yeah. The visual effects in this movie.
It's Look, I was wondering if we should just pin everything on the 3D idea, but I don't think you can. I don't think you can.
No, it's the directing.
Right.
This guy can't direct.
Yeah.
So, they capture a shark in SeaWorld, and Bess Armstrong's super psyched about it because it's like the first great white shark that has ever been in captivity.
Yeah. So more cruelty, even from the person who's not supposed to be the cruel character.
Yeah. Even fake SeaWorld is cruel to animals.
Yeah. Oh, and you got the Australian guy and his buddy. Yeah.
Who's that?
Oh, the Fitzroyce, remember? The guy who just wants to kill everything in sight, and he's like Louis Gossett Jr.'s partner.
Oh, that's right, yeah. Louis Gossett Jr., by the way, playing the head of SeaWorld, I guess?
Yeah.
And I was wrong to say Leah Thompson was the only one to come out of this movie unscathed.
Yeah, he's all right.
I think he's actually really good.
Yeah.
He's got some fucking charisma. He's watchable.
I agree.
Dennis Quaid's just standing over there looking fucking sour-faced with pit stains.
Yeah. There are pits. I noticed that.
Yeah.
And I did find it rather racist, though, when Quaid had the microphone and was shouting into the ocean for everybody to get out of the water, and he points to Louis Gossett Jr. and he goes, "There he is. There's my African American."
Does he say that?
No.
Oh.
It was a Trump joke.
Does Trump say that?
Yeah, don't you remember that?
No, I don't.
At one of his rallies? Yeah, there was a black guy at one of his rallies, and he said, "There he is. There's my African American."
Ooh, that's bad. That's our president.
Yeah.
All right.
What a world.
So they capture this shark. They put it in fresh water like idiots, and it dies. And then its mother or father shark comes and breaks in, this bad boy gets his revenge. And, it's not the first instance of revenge in the Jaws trilogy, and not the last.
No, but
I shouldn't say trilogy. There's 4 of them.
Whatever, yeah. But one of my favorite deaths in this movie is when, at the end, when he breaks through the glass and grabs the poor, hapless African-American fella who's monitoring the screens. Yeah. And when he grabs him and pulls him back into the ocean, it's a Muppet.
Yeah, he's in the shark's mouth and he's just sort of flailing. It is great. And
it's so clearly a dummy. It's not even disguised. It's just What do we got lying around set? We got that stunt dubby. Yeah. Throw him in there.
We can't skip the. You floated right by the shark breaking the glass.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. Yeah.
There's a lot of scenes in this movie where it's like just a still of a shark, and they make it appear like it's moving.
Yeah.
Like across, it's just picture a still of a shark moving across an ocean background. That's what this movie is. That's the third dimension of terror.
Yeah,
and,
it's like an Atari game.
Yeah, and so
like Pong.
It moves forward really slowly. The still of a shark. We cut to the people in the control room freaking out, scared. You're like, what? And then we see it move forward a little bit more, and then we just see glass break.
Yeah, true.
And
just happens.
And it flies out at you, and that's it, man. The shark goes nuts. I mean, look, this movie, I don't even like talking about movies like this, because it's like, no pun intended, shooting fish in a barrel. I mean, there's just nothing right about this movie.
Nothing. I agree. And it's just weird because I didn't remember it being this awful. I don't know when the last time I saw it was, and if it was on TV, I don't know, maybe I saw like 10 minutes and I was like, oh, Jaws 3, that's right, it's not the worst Jaws, but it's just unbelievable. It's a feat.
It's awful. It's unbelievable. The fucking control room after the glass breaks starts to fill up with water diagonally. I don't understand how that works. I mean, at the end when they finally what?
I was gonna say, I know you're not a fan of, like you said last week, not scientifically deconstructing physics like that in a movie, but have at it at this one because it's just beyond.
But it's not even trying. Like, I don't understand how this is a movie.
$88 million.
It's like Tommy Wiseau's Jaws. I mean,
oh, good call.
At the end of the movie, the shark explodes and his actual jaws fly out at you in 3D. What else do you have?
It's Quaid grabs that like hook and pulls the grenade from the dead Aussie's hand, who's still in the mouth. Don't we get a POV shot too from being eaten by the shark?
Oh, from inside the mouth, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good. This movie was so bad that I did something I've never done on this show before while I was taking notes.
What?
I drew a picture.
You did?
Of a shark. Yeah.
Good for you.
I doodled a shark. Yeah.
I like it.
It was just something to do.
Yeah.
While this was happening. I got really nothing more. I mean, I'm ready to move on.
My favorite part of the movie that made me laugh the hardest was everyone's in a panic, like so much so that they start beating each other up, like the crowd scenes towards the end of the movie when the shark's on the loose. And there's one scene where like Dennis Quaid is trying to flee really fast, driving a golf cart, and he just like drives it up a hill for no reason, and it overturns, and he falls out of it. Did you notice that?
No.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah. It's delightful. If anyone has a GIF of that, send it to me.
That would be pretty good.
Yeah.
It was hard to stay focused on this movie, as it was hard to stay focused for the focus puller on this movie, because like the Friday the 13th movie, as I said, however long ago that was, this was sort of like having glaucoma. It was hard to keep my eyes on the screen.
There actually were moments in this movie that were out of focus. Like, you can see it around the edges. It might have been part of the 3D effect, but it was filmed super badly so that, like, the actor who's talking is in focus, but nothing else on the screen is.
Yeah. Okay, so it wasn't just me.
No, not this time.
Yeah. Oh, Lord have mercy. Who's your MVP?
I I'll go with Lou Gossett Jr.
I'm going with Leah Thompson and
Yeah.
the Dolphins.
Don't go with the Dolphins.
It was nice to see them emerge unscathed.
They do some sweet tricks. I will say that. We got to see a lot of sweet dolphin tricks.
Yeah, in the age of animal cruelty, it was the norm, so you might as well enjoy it.
Yeah, okay. Who's your LVP?
Joe Alves.
Yeah, it's got to be Joe Alves.
I mean, there's so many people to blame, but come on. Yeah.
Yeah. What's your star rating?
1.
Yeah, me too.
I do have 3 superhero count.
Do you?
I do.
Okay.
Well, Lou Gossett Jr. was in the 1989 Dolph Lundgren Punisher.
Probably is a bad guy, I'd assume.
I don't know. It was called Jake Berkowitz.
Berkowitz, the noted Jewish black guy.
Right.
Yeah.
That was my thought. And he also played, not surprising, Lucius Fox in the Batman cartoon.
Okay, yeah, one of the only black characters in Batman, sure.
Yeah. There was a woman in this movie, I believe she had one fucking scene, and I don't even know why she's credited, but her name's Kay Stevens, and she played a mother in the 1990 series Superboy.
God, deep pull, Henry. Very deep pull.
Thank you. And this one is a little more controversial, but it is Marvel. And I didn't pull it up when we did Back to the Future.
Leah Thompson and Howard the Duck. I know.
That's right.
Yeah, no, that counts. That counts.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. So there you go.
Yeah, she fucked a duck in that movie.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that counts for something.
Yeah. Leah Thompson, by the way, is delightful in Howard the Duck.
I never saw Howard the Duck.
Howard the Duck is such a bad movie, and Leah Thompson just gets you right through it.
Yeah. Is it worse? It's not worse than this.
No.
I didn't think so.
No, I mean, it's got production values at least. You know, George Lucas was involved.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. What else we got, bro? We're on to Jaws 4?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. Jaws The Revenge comes 4 years later?
Mm-hmm. 1987.
Yeah. Directed by Joseph Sargent.
Who had a couple of decent credits to his name.
Who is he? I don't know much about this guy.
Well, I never saw MacArthur with Gregory Peck, but it's pretty acclaimed. But the only movie I've seen that he directed was The Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3.
He directed the original Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3?
Yeah.
That's like a good movie.
I know, with Robert Shaw.
Wait, how is that possible?
What do you mean? Yeah.
But this movie's so bad.
Well, it's not the first time we've dealt with that.
Yeah, I know.
So.
I'm looking at his stuff right now. He a lot of TV movies, huh?
Yeah.
A whole lot. The Karen Carpenter Story.
Bet that was good.
He directed a movie called The Long Island Incident that was about, Carolyn McCarthy.
I don't know. What was that about?
Carolyn McCarthy was that lady who got, shot on a train, I think, and then she became, a politician around here.
Oh,
or her
wow.
husband. I think her husband got killed or something. Okay. I don't remember the story.
No, that's okay. Screw up the tragedy. That's fine.
I'm screwing up that tragedy.
Yeah, that's fine. That's from your neck of the woods.
Yeah, it sure is. Come on, that's not the Long Island Story. The Long Island Story is Amy Fisher. We all know it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That's Jay Sargent.
Yeah, all right. So he's a for hire guy.
Right.
Written by a fellow named Michael de Guzman.
Yeah, you got to tell me about him. I didn't.
I didn't look him up.
As he looks him now.
Yeah.
Why you do? I'll just tell you about the music.
Sure, go ahead.
Which is considerably better than 3.
I noticed that. And partly because it uses more John Williams shit.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But this guy did write the music for The Marathon Man, Klute, The China Syndrome, The Star Chamber. So he's an actual composer.
All right.
So, and the director of photography, probably my favorite credit in the movie.
Okay.
Well, besides Michael Caine. The director of photography, John McPherson. I had to do a little digging. This was not an immediate Wikipedia fix.
Okay.
He directed, we've encountered this fellow before. He directed something we covered. Actually directed it.
What's that? What's his name?
John McPherson.
What did he direct?
Fletch Lives.
Oh, boy. That's a bad movie.
Oh, one of the worst we've ever covered. Yeah,
I wouldn't even go there. We've covered so many bad movies at this point, I don't think Fletch Lives is even in contention.
Oh, I think it is.
Okay.
I do. He also directed Batteries Not Included.
Oh, you mean asterisk batteries not included?
Correct. Yeah. And that's pretty much all I got on that guy, but I thought it was pretty funny that he was the DP on this and then directed Fletch Lives.
Sure. Michael de Guzman, he's written a lot of TV movies, and I mean, it goes to show, you got a TV movie director, a TV movie writer. It's why this movie feels like a TV movie. I mean, if I had to compare this movie to any movie I've seen in my life, I'm going with The Birds 2 Land's End. The TV movie sequel to The Birds from the early 90s.
I never saw that.
A classic. We should cover it.
It's a franchise.
Yeah.
Not really, but yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Jaws of Revenge.
What is this movie rated? PG-13?
I didn't notice.
Yeah, it shouldn't be. It should be probably an R.
Yeah, it's pretty hardcore, this movie, which I appreciated after Jaws 3.
There was a scene in the beginning. Well, we'll get into it. Go ahead. Give the stats.
All right. This was released July 17th, 1987. A budget of $23 million. Box office of $51.9 million. All right?
Still made money.
It made back its money. It didn't really make money.
Oh.
It's slightly in the black.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. But that's a flop. That's not what you want from a Jaws movie if you're Universal Pictures.
Right.
Now, this is number 54 in the box office for the year.
Mm-hmm.
It's slightly better than two movies I have never heard of. Can you tell me what these movies are?
Okay.
Hello Again is one of them?
Yeah, Shelley Long.
Oh, Shelley Long. All right. Sure.
Yeah, I don't think I saw it, but I
Leaving Cheers.
Right, good move.
Good decision. Also slightly better than Critical Condition.
Richard Pryor, I think.
Oh, okay. I think I was thinking of Heart Condition.
Oh yeah, sure, the dramedy thing.
The very racist film with Bob Hoskins and Denzel Washington.
Oh, there you go.
And slightly below Empire of the Sun, amazingly. And Benji the Hunted. We're still making Benji movies in 1987.
Wow.
And he's being hunted.
He's a very dangerous dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does he have rabies in that one?
I hope so. Do you have your list for 87? Because I'm much happier with my 1987.
Oh, I do, yeah.
Much
You
better
think
year.
Benji the Hunted was like an AIDS allegory where Benji had rabies?
I do.
Okay.
I yeah, for sure.
We should cover it. 1987. Okay, what do you got?
Number 1, Full Metal Jacket.
That's my number 1 as well.
Number 2, Wall Street.
I have Radio Days.
That's not even on my top 10. That's not one of my favorite Woody films.
I love that movie.
Yeah. Number 3, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
I have Raising Arizona.
All right. Number 4, Predator.
I also have Predator at number 4.
That's funny. Number 5, Fatal Attraction.
I have Near Dark.
Oh, yeah, this was a tough year. That should be on my list. Number 6, Barfly.
I have House of Games.
Great movie.
Mm-hmm.
Number 7, The Untouchables.
I have Wall Street.
Okay. Number 8, Raising Arizona.
That's too low. I have Moonstruck.
Not on my list. Number 9, Angel Heart.
I have RoboCop.
Oh, not on my list either.
That's insane.
Well, it was a tough year, clearly, because I really like my picks.
All right.
And I'm sticking with my number 10 as well, which is Lethal Weapon.
I have Evil Dead 2.
Yeah, I've never understood the cult fascination with that movie.
It's probably because it's so great.
It's enjoyable. I was going to quote, what does Jack Black say about it in the in High Fidelity? It's so funny and gruesome.
Yeah.
Anywho. Yeah. So Jaws 4, Michael Caine.
I knew it. I knew the second Jaws 4 came up, I'd hear a Michael Caine impression out of you.
Of course you would.
When
Yeah.
can I do my Paul Giamatti impression?
Oh, God, I've been
What
waiting
is
for
the
it forever.
first franchise we'll cover with Paul Giamatti? It's the only
Spider-Man?
impression I know how to do. Yeah,
That's
Spider-Man. That's right.
not true. That's not true. People don't know you're a very good impressionist.
Who can I do?
Well, you do Christopher Reeve.
Oh, that's right. Post-accident, pre-death. I can do Christopher Reeve. Hi.
You do. Stop.
I'm Christopher Reeve.
Up.
Mm-hmm.
You do several. They're very strange and they're few and far between. But you do impressions.
Thank you.
You do people we know, which is also not fun for anyone except like you and me and a few people.
Exactamundo. Okay.
Yeah. But Paul Giamatti, say he took this role. Why'd you do this role, Paul?
Oh, no, I'm not doing it.
Yes, you are.
What? I'm not. I haven't prepared.
Did you have to learn to fly a plane, Paul?
Listen, they wouldn't let me fly a plane because I'm too fucking fat.
Yeah. Usually you say you're a smarmy piece of shit, but you didn't get it.
They don't let me do anything. I'm a smarmy piece of shit.
Yeah.
We will do him though when we have Spider-Man. So
Maybe we can interview him.
yeah, I think I'm gonna try to. We used to see him all the time at the store.
Did we? I don't think I ever saw Paul Giamatti
Really?
in the store. Yeah.
I used to see him all the time. He never came into our department, but he was always riding the escalator up and down.
I like to just come in and ride the escalator all day long.
I can't believe you never saw him. I used to see him all the time.
I don't think so.
All right.
All right. Jaws: The Revenge. You want to do the plot? I'm bored.
Yeah. Me too. So Lorraine Gary shows up again.
Brody's wife.
Haven't seen Brody's wife in a while. Her kids have aged again. I read that they ignored the events in Jaws 3, which is probably all for the best.
Well, they said that, but you can place the events of Jaws 3.
Exactly.
It's who
doesn't
cares?
Even matter. Right, it doesn't even matter. It has no bearing. So she's unhappily living in Amity still. We learn that Roy Scheider has died of a heart attack out of fear of sharks.
We see a big framed photo of Roy Scheider towards the beginning of this movie, which made me laugh really loud.
I hope he got royalties for that.
I hope so too. By the way, not to spoil next week, but it's the funniest moment in this movie is when you see Roy Scheider, and the funniest moment in Independence Day Resurgence, which we will be covering next week.
Yeah.
There's one scene where there's just a big picture of Will Smith. Just to remind you, he didn't want to come back for this one.
I didn't see it, so yeah, I'll be watching it.
Yeah.
That's great. So she's got Sean and Michael, who are grown men, no longer played by Dennis Quaid and somebody else. They're played by two other somebody else's. And very early on, her son Sean, who is the police chief in Amity, gets called out to fix a wooden log, some dragage in the bay, and has an extraordinarily graphic and upsetting death.
I loved it.
Yeah. The shark, who has been, laying low for a while, one of the offspring, obviously, finds him in the dark on his boat and rips his arm off. And if that's not enough, then eats him whole. And convinces Ellen Brody, when her son Michael comes to visit, to go to the Bahamas.
That death scene, if I may,
Please.
was so weird that I was convinced it was a dream sequence.
There's a lot of dream sequences in this.
Yeah, it's weird. Henry, turn down the volume on your computer. I can hear myself, and it's driving me up a fucking wall.
Okay. You told me to turn. You had told me to turn it up.
I told you to turn up the volume on your mic. All right, that's
that?
good. All right, now that'll be in the episode. I hope you enjoyed that. The son's arm gets bitten off. It's awesome. He's dead as a doornail. I have a big problem though with the first act of this movie. Before we get to the Bahamas. We're on Amity, and it's Christmas time.
It is.
Fuck you!
You're a big fan of Christmas.
No, listen. This Amity is the essence of summer to me. Last week, I said if I could choose any town in a movie to live in, it would be Amity.
Right.
But it's because it's the ultimate incarnation of summer. I don't want to be on Amity if it's going to snow.
Well, it's in Massachusetts, dude. What do you think?
But I don't want to see it in wintertime. These Jaws movies should take place in the summer. Never! I don't want to see Jaws in winter.
Yeah, Jaws in winter.
And
I like the title.
especially because this movie came out July 18th. Do not release movies that come out around, that take place around Christmas in the summer. Don't do it.
Do you think if Jaws 4 was named Jaws in Winter and was directed by Ingmar Bergman, there'd be something there?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't.
I wasn't sure. So Jaws is a homicidal maniac.
Listen, I'm not done.
Oh.
There's also a scene where Sean is talking about how there's been a lot of cow tipping happening on Amity Island.
That was very confusing.
How are there cows on this island?
Very confusing. Yeah, I didn't understand that either.
Oh.
Old man, somebody is saying they're tipping his cows.
This is a swimming village. There are no farms.
Yeah. It's a stand-in for Martha's Vineyard, and I would think, and there's a lot of cows roaming around. I guess.
At the end, it should run into another vineyard with the same name, and the fighting should stop. Martha.
Oh boy. Good.
I'll never look at the name Martha the same way ever again.
Why is this now?
Because of Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice.
Oh, sure. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. So we're in the Bahamas. We go to the Bahamas. Ostensibly, we go there so that we're safe from sharks. So definitely, let's go to an island that's surrounded by water.
Yeah.
That's great. You know,
Definitely.
in Jaws 3D, if Jaws 3D had any good ideas, it was that the younger Brody son was afraid of the water because of everything his father had been through.
Right.
And he elected to move to Colorado.
Right.
That's smart. And meanwhile, Leah Thompson in that movie just keeps, every time they're hanging out, she's like, let's go skinny dipping.
Yeah.
Let's go bumper boating. And it's like, Jesus Christ, Leah Thompson, can you stay on land for 2 goddamn seconds?
Yeah, that's kind of a problem. That's kind of a problem with this 4, too. Like, Mario Van Peebles, the worst friend in movies.
Mario Van Peebles playing the fucking Jamaican doctor from Futurama in this movie.
Michael Brody's brother has just been eaten alive by a shark. And all Mario Van Peebles does throughout this movie is taunt him with going out on the water and looking for this shark. It's all he does. That's his role.
But he wants to look for the shark, man.
Oh, intolerable.
Yo, Mario Van Peebles, an actor I really don't mind usually.
Nor do I, but whoa, baby.
That Jamaican accent
Oh, my God.
is crazy. By the way, nice to see Melvin Van Peebles show up in this movie.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah.
One of my favorite moments in this movie was when Michael is underwater and he's searching for, shells.
Is that actually what he's doing?
Yeah, that's what he does for a living. He looks at the conch shells or whatever. Yeah, and I don't know if you caught this, and I didn't pause it because I didn't care that much, but Mario Van Peebles is talking incessantly to him underwater, through that microphone, and at one point I swear to God, he goes like this into the mic. Okay, you ready?
Mhm.
On. Yeah.
Oh, so the movie Jaws now takes place in the world of the Jaws movies?
Right.
Okay.
He's humming the Jaws theme to his brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great. Let's do that.
Oh, by the way,
It would be like if, in fucking Star Wars, Luke Skywalker was, flying to blow up the Death Star and all of a sudden started going, doo, doo, doodle-dee-doo, doo.
Which also is great because it's extremely clear that in one of the scenes, Michael, when he goes underwater, is not wearing any kind of audio equipment on his head. So his ears are just open, exposed to the water, but he can still communicate somehow with Mario Van Peebles, which is kind of amazing.
Maybe he's a telepath.
Well, clearly Jaws in this movie is a telepath.
Jaws has a lot of powers in this movie.
He has a lot of powers, dude.
Yeah, Jaws the Revenge is flat out supernatural.
Yeah. Yeah.
You want to explain why?
Well, beyond waiting many years or following the family from Amity, he also follows and is able to identify specific human beings who are nowhere near what he's doing or swimming, and follows this family, 3,000 miles down to the Bahamas?
Yep.
In a very short period of time. He's a good swimmer. Good swimmer. And basically just makes it his mission to find, the granddaughter, the mother, the boyfriend, the friend, the brother, anyone who is remotely related to the Brodies. He's extremely pissed off. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he has vocal abilities too. He's a good singer.
What?
When he comes out of the water, he roars.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, he
Like
does.
a lion.
He does.
Like a
There's some
lion.
shark roaring.
Yeah.
Maybe he's a tiger shark.
He could. Having said everything we've said, it is still better than Jaws 3.
Listen, I'm not done with Jaws 4, but yeah.
No, me
it's
neither.
100% better than Jaws 3.
Because first of all, it looks okay.
Yeah.
It's at least
Looks like a
pleasant to
movie.
Look at. God. Yeah.
And
right.
it moves. It's, first of all, hour and 29 minutes. Yes, please.
Yeah.
And Jaws 3 was a slog to get through.
Yeah, it was.
It was fucking boring. And this movie, it kind of slips by, I remember, I started feeling a little bored at one point. I checked the time, and I only had, 18 minutes left.
Right.
So
right.
it's all right.
Yeah, I checked the time a few times, but yeah. You're right. Yeah, it does move like
Jaws
a shark.
4, I mean, it's incredibly stupid, but
Right.
if you look past how dumb the premise is, it's not that horrible a movie.
I agree. And, it's got that 0% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, and then I looked up the other list of movies that are rated 0, and it's not nearly as bad as some of those other movies. No, I
Do
didn't
you
write
have
it
that
down.
list?
No, I don't.
Oh, Henry, come on.
You want me to get
That's
it?
a great list to have.
All right, why don't you yap for a little bit?
Okay. So Jaws 4, we're heading back into the water towards the end of the movie. Jaws the Revenge is a very smart title because it has dual meaning. So not only is the shark getting revenge on the Brodies, but now Brody's wife is getting revenge on this shark for killing her son. So they head out into the water after a sweet banana boat kill. And they and she says to the shark, "Come and get me, you son of a bitch."
Yeah.
It reminded me of like Halloween 7 when Jamie Lee Curtis is like, "Michael!" Like,
Right. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did read Roger Ebert's review of this, which is really funny, and he points out something interesting. He gave it 0 stars.
yeah.
But he points out that Lorraine Gary, Ellen Brody, is remembering things that
She wasn't
wasn't
present for. I noticed
correct.
this. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. So a lot of this movie, she keeps reminiscing about the dinner table scene in Jaws where, Brody tries to like reassure his son with some kind of like unspoken language. They smile at each other.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, of course.
And she's just remembering this. She was not in that scene.
No.
And then she's remembering shit from the orca.
Well, that's way more absurd.
That is actually, I think, less absurd because tell me Brody did not tell the fucking story of the orca to somebody every
that's a
goddamn
good point.
day for the rest of his life. He must have been insufferable with that shit.
That's a really good point. He probably lived on that, drank his whiskey, and just told that story. That's the rest of his life.
Yeah, he must have just been a drunk, drinking Narragansetts in the bar saying, like, the last time I drank a Narragansett, I was, fuck. I met a shark once, his name
Let
was
me
Jaws,
tell ya.
I fought him.
Let me tell you about this guy I knew named Quint.
Yeah, let me
old-
raise a glass to Quint.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Brody's at it again. Cut him off. Just let him rant. They'll just let him rant. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I have some... All right, I pulled it up.
Okay. Now,
In the
what
six-
are the other movies that have
Well, there's
gotten
1,000 of them.
0%?
So what do you want me to do? Like, just start in 87 and go for a little bit?
Just
naming?
name ones that are funny.
All right, the Garbage Pail Kids movie.
That's great.
Return of the Living Dead Part 2.
Yeah, okay, we'll cover it.
Police Academy 5.
Which one is that?
Assignment Miami Beach.
Oh, that's a good one.
Mac and Me.
When are we going to cover Police Academy? That'll be fun.
That would be fun.
Yeah. Okay, Mac and Me, that's a classic.
Ghoulies 2.
Yeah, that's probably bad.
The Toxic Avenger Part 2.
Yeah, Trauma.
Police Academy 6. City Under Siege.
That's a great one, too.
Stepfather 2.
Okay, what else? Keep going.
Critters 3.
That Leonardo DiCaprio's in Critters 3.
Return to the Blue Lagoon.
Oh, sure.
This one's funny. The Joe Pesci movie. I saw this in a theater when I was a kid. The Super.
Is that a 0%?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's jump ahead a few years, shall we? Car 54, where are you?
Yeah, that's really bad.
Police Academy, Mission to Moscow.
That one is genuinely bad. Mina Suvaria, young Mina Suvaria. That
Really?
movie. Yeah.
It's Pat, the movie.
I saw that.
John Candy's last movie, The Wagons East.
Sure. Oh, come on. No one could give that a good review, just like R.I.P. John Candy.
29 people said no. Leprechaun 3.
That's a good one. He's in Vegas.
Ooh, Ed.
Ed! I love Ed! The Matt LeBlanc monkey movie where he plays baseball?
Yeah, I think so.
I have a poster of that movie.
I bet you do.
I stole it from Blockbuster when it closed down.
Sweet.
Mhm.
Leprechaun 4 in space.
That's an amazing one. He's in space.
I'm going to jump ahead to the 2000s.
Okay,
because
what else
this,
you got?
This interests me.
Okay.
The Order.
Yep, that's a Brian Helgeland movie with Heath Ledger.
That's Brian Helgeland?
Yeah, wrote and directed it.
Boy.
That was his follow-up to A Knight's Tale.
Oh, boy. Derailed. I saw that.
Yeah,
Jennifer
that's a
Aniston.
pretty bad movie. I'm surprised it got 0% though.
Yeah. K9 PI.
Yep, the sequel with Jim Belushi.
Didn't know there was one.
Yes, you did. We talked about it once on
We
an
talked
episode
about
of this-
K9. I didn't.
No,
know
no, you said on that episode I didn't know there was a sequel, and I told you about that movie.
Well, my memory's going. I'm getting old.
Yeah,
Um.
getting old.
National Lampoon presents Dorm Days.
Oh, Daze.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at you.
I know all these movies.
Mulan 2.
That was straight to DVD, I think.
The Crow, Wicked Prayer.
Oh, that one is great. It's I think David Boreanaz and Tara Reid are in it. We got to cover that.
Oh, yeah. I'll always know what you did last summer.
Oh, the third one, straight to DVD. Yeah.
There you go. What else? Oh, One Missed Call. I remember when that came out.
I don't know that movie.
That's with the weird, creepy poster of like two faces forming like a eyeless face. You don't remember that? 2008?
No.
Okay.
All right.
All right, that's enough. It goes on. There's a
Well,
lot,
what's really recent?
Yeah, let's go there. Joe Dirt 2, Beautiful Loser.
Yep, I think that was a Crackle original movie.
Oh, I'm very happy to see this because I thought this movie was a POS. The Leisure Class.
Oh, that was the fucking Project Greenlight movie.
Yeah, remember that?
Yeah.
That was awful.
hmm
And the most recent was 2017 was Eloise, which I don't.
Eloise.
Yeah, I don't know. Max Steel.
Sure. Mordecai got good reviews.
What year was that?
I think 16.
Must have gotten one good review. It ain't on
guess.
here.
All right. All right, back to Jaws: The Revenge.
The longest digression in our history. I
I'm
think.
okay with that.
Me too.
Mario Van Peebles gets eaten real good at the end, but then he turns up alive. Which
Barely
sucks.
anything. Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Michael Caine is in a plane.
Wait, we haven't talked about Michael Caine as Hoagie.
The ignominiously named Hoagie.
Yeah. Hey, what's up? It's me, Michael Caine. I'm Cold Sandwich. By the way, he's great in this.
He's my MVP.
He's mine too. I thought he was fantastic. He's super likable. He's like a love interest to Ellen Brody, and you genuinely kind of want them to end up together. I did anyway.
I don't know about that.
I did. I was rooting for them when they're having dinner and they go dancing on that little dance floor. I'm like, yes, please. I'm into it. I love it. Hoagie, ask her to marry you.
Yeah. And should we just brush by quickly the famous, one of the most famous things about Michael Caine?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
It's for our listeners who don't know.
he didn't attend the Oscars to collect his Best Supporting Actor award for Hannah and Her Sisters because he was off in the Bahamas filming Jaws: The Revenge.
Yeah.
It's great.
But it's okay because 12 years later he was able to steal it from Tom Cruise for Cider House Rules.
You princes of New York, you kings of New England.
One of the worst accents that sort of reminds me, his accent, that of your impression of Nicole Kidman.
Oh, I've been in New York all me whole life. That's a
And
good impression that I do.
Yeah, it is, exactly. And wouldn't you agree that he stole that from Tom Cruise? He deserved it for Magnolia.
What are you
that year.
talking about? The Cider House rules.
Right, true. It rules, and there are rules
Yeah.
to the Oscars.
Yeah.
No Scientology.
Yep.
No, you're right. Tom Cruise as Frank T.J. Mackey. What's better? What's a better tagline? You princes of New York, you kings of New England, or respect the cock, tame the cunt.
I think that goes without saying.
I think first time I've said the C word on this podcast. Henry.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That surprises me.
Me too, kind of. All right. You got anything else to say about Jaws: The Revenge?
I like the name of Mario Van Peebles' boat.
What is it?
It's called Neptune's Folly.
What is that a reference to?
Well, here's the thing. If you're going to have a boat, why would you name it after the god of the sea, but like it's basically saying the god of the sea's mistake? Neptune's Folly. So you're kind of asking for trouble. And since we already know that Jaws, the shark in this movie, is supernatural, I'm pretty sure he can read. So if the shark reads that it's Neptune's Folly, he's probably thinking, that's an easy boat to take down. I can take down this boat. That's my theory.
All right.
You tuned out. You completely tuned out, didn't you?
I gotta tell you, I tuned out. I was thinking about the title of the movie. Revenge.
Thanks.
Yeah, sorry.
Thanks.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Hey, I'll hear that when I go to edit the podcast. I'm sure it'll be a great anecdote.
No, I appreciate that. I appreciate all the thought that I put into that was then not listened to. I didn't really put any thought into it, so it's fine. But wait, there was something else. Oh, this is the second Jaws movie where he takes down a vehicle, an air vehicle. Remember in Jaws 2, we never mentioned that he takes down a helicopter.
Oh, yeah.
And in this one, he eats a plane.
Yeah, he flat out eats a plane in this one.
Huh,
he's loving it.
He's very big.
Yeah, he's a big shark. He's a big boy, that Jaws. All right. What do you give this movie?
2 stars.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah. MVP, Michael Caine.
Yep.
LVP,
Mario.
LVP Bulls.
Least Van Peebles. Yeah.
But you know, Van Peebles, go check him out in that movie Badass. That's great.
Didn't he direct New Jack City?
Yeah, I think he did. Yeah. I'm also secretly a fan of that terrible action movie he was in the mid-'90s called Solo.
Oh, I never saw it.
That's a classic.
Nice. Does that have a sequel?
No, sadly.
Oh.
I know. Well, kind of. You know, Kurt Russell's Soldier. But
nice.
Yeah.
I only got one superhero here.
Oh, okay. Oh, Michael Caine, Alfred.
That's right, who I famously missed on Austin Powers. Remember that?
Famously.
The shot heard around the world.
Yeah. All right.
Frank?
Oh, right. It's easy. Jaws, Jaws 2, Jaws the Revenge, Jaws 3D.
Bingo.
Okay, bingo bango. Now, there has never been another Jaws movie since 1987.
Little surprise?
I think, is this the first time that we've encountered a movie that turned out just flat out to be a franchise killer?
Oh, that's interesting. I mean, probably some of the duologies we've covered.
But that's a little different. I mean,
yeah,
that's attempting to make a movie a franchise with a second one and failing. But
right.
A long-running franchise like this, I mean, the ones we've covered, even when they've had failed movies, like they've tried again, you know?
Right.
Predator, they keep trying to make new Predator movies. Fucking
Die Hard.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, for sure.
There's always one in the works.
Superman goes without saying, and yep, many things. Yeah, you're right. This is killed. It's dead.
It's a franchise killer. I've never even heard talk of another Jaws movie.
Except when we suggested last week.
Yeah, I know. The Indianapolis.
Yeah.
By the way, I looked it up, and there is a movie about the USS Indianapolis.
I know, Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, it went straight to VOD last year with Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, I actually, since we recorded, I watched half of a documentary about it, too.
Look at you.
Wasn't very good, so that's why I only watched half. But, yeah.
All right, let's wrap up. I mean, what do you do for another Jaws movie? Are you sticking with Indianapolis? Should Jaws be remade? I mean, I guess not.
I don't think it should be, but I think that's coming. I think if anything happens, that's what's going to happen. It's not going to be our pipe dream of an Indianapolis movie. It's going to be. it's going to be a remake.
Yeah, and we've seen more and more shark movies in the last year, which
Yeah.
I'm thankful for. So I think it might lead up to a Jaws remake because The
There's one
Shallows
out-
did well. There's one out now. What's it called?
47 meters down.
Yeah, which sounds great. It's they're in a cage.
Does it sound great?
Yes,
Okay.
I can't wait for that movie.
It's out, so go ahead.
I'm gonna see it on Netflix.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Mandy Moore. They're short. They're in a cage underwater. The whole movie.
Yeah,
It sounds
yeah.
sort of like a
The Shallows.
shark movie meets like a Buried Alive movie.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
And
into
the always great Mandy Moore.
Hey, come on. She's getting it together. This Is Us is a good show.
Yeah. Okay. Take your word for it.
No, I mean she's a bad actress, but but I'll watch her in a shark movie. Sure.
All right. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. So yeah, Jaws remake coming soon, featuring Sam Worthington as Sheriff Brody, Gerard Butler as Quint, and as Hooper, they'll get Josh Gad.
Perfect.
Yeah,
I could see that.
can't wait.
I could see that happening.
Yeah,
He's funny, that Gad guy.
yeah, and it'll be produced by Platinum Dunes.
Directed by Brett Ratner.
No, then it would be produced by Rat Pack.
I know. Yeah, I know. I just wanted you to say
Hey, Scooby Doo Bop.
Ratner. Scooby Bop.
Hey, we'll be back next week. Happy 4th of July with Independence Day and Independence Day Resurgence. That's right, ID4. So we can talk about Goldblum, Bill Pullman, Will Smith, Vivica Fox.
Judd Hirsch.